And that is a new body. Now you may be looking at your own body and saying, it doesn't get any better than this. But I promise you, it does. It does. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 50. I know we're in the Word of God a lot. I declare to you, brothers and sisters, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, nor does the perishable inherit the perishable. Listen, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed. In a flash, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable, and we will all be changed. The bodies that we have, our bodies are carnal bodies. They're flesh and blood. They were designed for life on this earth. They are susceptible to sinful pleasures. And as hard as we fight, it is no mystery, or it's not a secret that I can keep hidden, that in all actuality, my hair is as white as anybody else's in this church. And coloring it doesn't make me any younger. I do not have the body I had when I was 20. I'm sure about what that would be. But, and things go wrong. And things happen. And as much as I brush my teeth, they're not going to last forever. And we get diseases and we get sick and we fight the sickness and we fight the diseases, and that's good, and there's nothing wrong with that. But no matter how hard we fight to stay alive, eventually, we all go to see our Lord and our lives end on this earth. Unless He should want to come back today. I'm not right now, I guess. However, our bodies have an expiration date. Our bodies have an expiration date. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I say, "Oh, Lord Jesus, come." But the new bodies are made, the new bodies that we will receive, the new bodies that we will have, they are made for eternity. And sometimes we get where our backs are aching and our legs are hurting, our joints are hurting, and we get sick and whatnot, and we say, "Lord, heal me, Lord, make me better," and that's fine. And then we sometimes say, "Well, Lord, why is this happening to me?" It's happening to you because you're getting old.
Thanks a lot.
It's happening to me too. Because our bodies are not eternal. But we will get new bodies. No more sore backs. No painful swelling. No flat arches. No disease. No aging. No expiration. Because our new bodies are built for eternity. And they will have no expiration days. And then the Bible talks about a new earth. A new earth. The old earth, according to the Scriptures, 3 different places here in the Bible, and there's others. The old earth as we know it will be destroyed. Now, does that mean we don't need to care about the earth? No. Does that mean we don't need to pick up litter? No. Does that mean we don't need to be conservationists? No. But eventually everything on this earth is going to be destroyed. According to the Scriptures. Because you see, sin, according to the Bible, in the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve brought sin into the world, sin corrupted the world, and it corrupted all of nature also. know will be destroyed. Everything killed. Oceans burned up, all laid bare. Now, I used to think that the entire planet, God's going to take the entire planet, get rid of it. But as John sees the New Jerusalem coming down, he's seeing it come down on the earth, and he says that the earth has no seas left in it as this comes down. Which, if I take the Bible in context, and I believe the Bible is the Word of God, God's going to remake the earth, as he talks about a new earth. And so, the earth as we know it will be changed. It will be transformed. It will be made better. The earth has been started over before. God wiped out everything with the flood. And what people don't realize, they say, well, there's no evidence for this. Yeah, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent. But in the Middle East are vast reserves of oil. Oil comes from oil companies. No. Oil comes from degraded living material, like plants and trees and things of that nature. And it takes a whole bunch of oil, whole bunch of living matter to make just a little bit of oil. And there's so much of it in the Middle East, it's only obvious that at one time this world used to be totally different from what we see today. It was much more lush, it was much more bountiful with planet life. And I think it had the climate worldwide was more temperate than it is today. That's one of the reasons why they find frozen mammoths up in the Arctic, still chewing on plant life and things of that nature. Because at one time, there was all that kind of stuff up there. But the world has changed. It has become different. At one time, there was no rain. The mist watered the ground. The water in the atmosphere was that heavy. It was more of a tropical atmosphere. And this is just common sense based on archaeological evidence. But it was wiped out, it was destroyed, so that we could have oil today and drive in our cars. No. God started over with a flood. And according to the Bible, God's going to start over again, but it is with heat. It is with fire. But this is done for the purpose of preparing the earth to be made new, to be better. A world in which there is no more death, no more sorrow. Denise Thorpe made up a list of all the funerals that we have had over the last year and maybe a few months. And I mean, there is a boatload of them. And if you're visiting with us today, don't get scared. This older people that have gone to be with the Lord for one reason or another. Sometimes younger people. And I look so forward to the day when I no longer have to preach a funeral sermon. Because the hope that I express in the sermon is the hope that will be realized by all of us. Because there is no more death. There is no more sorrow. He will wipe every tear from our eye. And there is a new Jerusalem. A new Jerusalem. Now, the old Jerusalem that's on the earth right now, the city of David, the city, the word Salem means peace. It's a city of peace. It has had very little peace in its existence. Nation after nation has warred over this one city and has been destroyed and rebuilt, destroyed and rebuilt. But God hasn't rebuilt the New Jerusalem. He has started from scratch. He's been working on it since the beginning of the world. It's a new city of peace. No death, no sorrow, no pain. It doesn't even the old Jerusalem doesn't even compare to the New Jerusalem. It is a huge city. Now, in Revelation chapter 21, verse 15. Go ahead and turn there if you will. Because I may be lying to you. No. Revelation 21:15. John is seeing this angel talking about heaven. And it says, the angel who talked with me had a measuring rod of gold to measure the city, its gates and its walls. The city was laid out like a square, as long as it was as long as it was wide. And he measured the city with the rod, and he found it to be 12,000 stadia in length, and as wide and as high as it is long. 12,000 stadia, wide and long. 12,000 stadia. The word stadia is where we get the word stadium. So you can just kind of envision maybe 12,000 stadiums. But I looked it up, and some might say, well, God is just exaggerating here. I hear that all the time. This is just exaggeration. It's just illustration. It's not really 12,000 by 12,000. That's just kind of ridiculous. That's not literal. It's just figurative. Yes, because God is from Texas and he exaggerates. Everything's bigger in Texas. You don't think that God, who created the world and everything in it, could create a city this big? 12,000 by 12,000 stadium is the equivalent of 1,380 miles by 1,380 miles. A city that large would cover most of the United States. Not most of the, I'm sorry. A little more than half of the United States. That's a big city. An estimate by PRB, the Public Radio website, has a number of people who have ever been born to be at 107 billion, 602,007. Maybe it is trillion. I think it's big. 107 billion, 602,707. Okay, 107602, same old stuff. As of the year 2011. Okay. You know, I love Bible college. It was a great thing. Seminary, but they never offered one math class. They knew I'd have to study Revelation. Okay. The world population, I believe it was in the billions. The world population of people who have ever lived in the beginning of time, they estimate would probably be about 180 billion by today. Based on the idea that we have a little under 7 billion people alive today, and if you took those people and stood, 7 billion today, if you took those people and stood them side by side, you would need 2,780 square miles. If you had people standing side by side today, they would encompass an area of 2,780 miles. Divide 108 billion by 8 billion, it equals 13.5 times 2,780. There goes the math again. Times 2,780, it equals 37,580 miles. If you were to take everybody that ever lived and took them side by side, it would encompass an area of 37,580 miles, square miles. If you take 1,380 by 1,380, it equals 1,904,000 square miles. That is the size of heaven. And so if you took everybody that ever existed, whoever lived, and they went into the New Jerusalem, that would give everyone just over 50 square feet. However, we know that narrow is the gate. And not everybody chose the way of righteousness. Not everybody chose God. Not everybody chose Jesus. And so that number is tremendously diminished. I'm obviously not a numerologist. However, I think it is a given that there will be plenty of room in the New Jerusalem. Amen. And that doesn't even include the remade earth. Because the Jerusalem, if you look at the book of Revelation, it is described as having 12 gates. Why do you put 12 gates in a city? Why not just 3 walls and 1 gate in the 4th wall? Because you need to be able to come in and out. Just common sense there. I'm sure that anybody watching this video, any of my professors will probably be saying what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is, it's going to be an incredible place. What is it? It's going to be a better place. In Koine Greek, there are 2 words that are translated as new in the English Bible. Neos and kainos. One Greek resource states, a distinct from neos means new in time, kainos means new in nature, with an implication of better. Both words suggest unfamiliar, unexpected, and wonderful. And these are the words that are used to describe the new heaven and the new earth. A new heaven and new earth. It is going to be unfamiliar. Nothing like we've ever experienced before. It's going to be unexpected. And it's going to be wonderful. We go to the Grand Canyon, and we go to the Smoky Mountains, and we go to the Rocky Mountains, and we go to the ocean, and we say, "Ah, isn't that just beautiful?" And it is. But what is to come is so much better than what we have today. Do not put your hope in this world, but take for yourself a new hope provided by Jesus Christ. There's no comparison between this world and the next world. It's kind of like, how many of you like to camp? Raise your hands. I grew up camping, love camping. We always camped in tents, for better or worse. And as we, but it's kind of like going from a tent to one of these 70-foot long brand new RVs. Okay. Tent camping is wonderful. A 70-foot brand new camping RV. So much better. And that's what it says, this world may be wonderful, but heaven is going to be so much better. But with a new heaven and a new earth and a new body, it comes the realization that there needs to be a new urgency. A new urgency. Because the end is coming. The end is coming. You don't have to see a guy wearing a sign around his neck saying the end is near to know that the end is coming. It has been prophesied, and the signs are all around us. And there are people who are lost, who do not have a new hope. There are people who do not have what you and I have, and they need it because the end is coming. And so we need to have a new urgency to seek out the lost and bring them into Christ. Revelation chapter 21 verse 6 says, He said to me, it is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give water without cost from the spring of water of life. Those who are victorious will inherit this, and I will be their God, and they will be my children. It'd be nice, maybe, if it just ended there, but it doesn't. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death. And brothers and sisters, you know people who are destined for the second death. You know people that fall into these categories that I just mentioned. But you have a new hope to share in Jesus Christ. The people of God are not merely, this is by Philip Yancey, the people of God are not merely to mark time waiting for God to step in and set right all that is wrong. Rather, they are to model the new heaven and the new earth. And by doing so, awaken longings for what God will someday bring to pass. What longings are you awakening in people's lives around you today? When they see you, do they see a new heaven and a new earth? Do they see in you a new hope? Do they see in you Jesus Christ? Because the Bible says Christ in you, that's the hope of glory. Do people see that hope of glory? If you do not know that hope, if you do not know that glory, if you do not have confidence in what is to come, then I invite you this morning, by faith, to repent of your sins that have just gotten between you and God.